Hello everyone, I'm Shreya Mandal, a trainee teacher from Sponsored Teachers Training College. Today we will be studying An April Day by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, focusing on the first three stanzas. Okay, then without further ado, let's start the lesson by learning about the poet first. It's Henry Wadsworth Longfellow who has written the poem called An April Day. We will start by reviewing some key facts about his life and work. So he was born on February 27, 1807 in Portland, Maine. He was a famous American poet. About his education, he was graduated from Bowdoin College, studied European languages and literature. Academic career, he was professor of modern languages at Bowdoin College, the same college from where he has finished his graduation, and Harvard University. Next, about his literary success. He was famous for poems like The Song of Hiawatha, Evangeline, and Paul Revere's Ride. Next, the style and influence. By style, it means the kind of style he has used in his works, and by influence, it means what kind of influence he has on English literature. So he was known for accessible language, rhythmic style, and themes of nature, the theme that you are also going to find in the poem that we are going to read today, history and mythology. He died on March 24, 1882 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So this is all you need to know about our poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. Now we will move on to the next slide, that is about the theme of our poem. So as I have already mentioned that this poem is all about nature. In this poem, the persona beautifully describes the wonders of nature during the month of April, as our title goes. The main theme is the romantic appreciation for the beauty found in nature in the season of spring. So, what is the main theme of our poem? It is about the nature and the beauty that the poet has seen during the month of April or the season of spring. Next, the setting. So it's very important to remember that this poem is not talking about the beauty or the nature of Indian landscape. Rather, it is talking about the beauty of the American landscape during the month of April. So, An April Day is a poetic exploration of vernal splendor, capturing the essence of springtime's natural beauty as it unfolds across the American landscape during the month of April. So the setting of our poem is in America because our poet, he is from America and he has spent his most of times in New England, which is a region in America where he was always surrounded by greenery and beautiful hills, which eventually inspire him to write such kind of poems. Okay, so the thing that you need to remember is that the setting of our poem is in America. Now, another thing that we need to get acquainted with before meeting the poem is that the seasonal cycle of America. The as the setting of our poem is in America, we need to have some basic idea about the seasonal cycle of there in there. And I have also put the seasonal cycle of India over here so that we could compare their seasonal cycle with us. So as you can see over here, in India, we can enjoy all the six seasons that we have, right? Summer, monsoon, autumn, late autumn, winter, and spring. But the scenario in America is a bit different. Here, only four seasons are prominent, and these are summer, autumn, winter, and spring. Now, summer is from June to August, autumn, September to November, winter December to February, and spring is from March to May. Now the name of our poem is An April Day. So April falls in which season? Spring. Okay. So this is all about the background of the poem. Now we will dive into the poem. Okay, so this is our first stanza. Let's see what it says. When the warm sun that brings seed time and harvest has returned again, it is sweet to visit the still wood where springs the first flower of the plain. So, in this first stanza, the poet is basically introducing us to the month of April. Here, the poet is discussing about the return of the season of spring, but in a rather elegant way. You see, he is referring to that time of the year when the sun regains its warmth. Not just any warmth, but that kind that's crucial for agriculture. It's the solar energy that sets the stage for planting and later on reaping the harvest. That is what the line is talking about. The seed time and harvest has returned again because the warm sun has also returned. It is sweet to visit the still wood where springs the first flower of the plain. Now, in the next line, uh, when the you see the when the season of spring is rolls the season of spring rolls around, the poet suggests that there's a particular charm in venturing the uh, into the tranquil woodlands. That is what he is talking about. Still wood. Still wood means silent wood. So he says that there's a particular charm in venturing into the tranquil woodlands. And why, you might ask? Because it's in these serene forests that what one might have the pleasures of encountering the inaugural bloom of the first season. Right? That's why he is saying this line, this second line. So it's as if the poet is inviting us to appreciate the cyclical renewal of nature. He's implying that there's a certain allure in witnessing these early harbingers of spring in the hushed atmosphere of wood. So this is what the first stanza is all about. Now let's have our eye on the point summary of the first stanza. So what the first stanza talks about, it describes April as the beginning of spring, mentions the warmth of the sun, highlights the season as a time for plant and flower growth, as we have already seen it's talking about the seed time and harvest, portrays the beauty of forests and plains, and shares the narrator's feelings about seeing the first flower bloom. So this is all are the key facts that you about the need to remember about the first stanza. Okay, now we will move on to the second stanza. I love the season well when forest glades are teeming with bright forms. Not dark and many-folded clouds foretell the coming on of storms. So, in this second stanza, the poet, we can see that the poet is wholeheartedly expressing his love and his appreciation for the nature and for the beauty during the month of April. He is wholeheartedly expressing it, and he has also stated the reasons the, that make him fall in love with this season or with this month of April. So the first reason that we can see that is the forest glades are teeming with bright forms. He loves this season because at this particular time he could see the forest glades in its brightest forms. Very well, but what is a forest glades? Let's learn that first. This is what a forest glade is. It is a small open areas of grass in a wood. So this is how a forest glade normally looks like. So the poet loves this season because he can enjoy the scenic beauty of forest glades at this particular time, which are full of sunbeams. And the second reason is that uh, the absence of bad weather. You see, he is saying that no dark and manifolded clouds foretell the coming on of storm. So he notes the absence of bad weather in these seasons, and the sky is always bright blue, and there isn't a trace of any dark clouds that could foretell the bad weather. So it's like every day is a perfect day. That's why the poet is so much in love with this season. So in the second stanza, the poet is mainly expressing his love for this month or for this season. Now we will look into the point summary of this stanza. Okay, so the speaker expresses fondness for spring, right? Describes enjoyment of vibrant forest, about the forest glades and clear sky, notes absence of bad weather, yes, and declares April as his favorite time of year. So these are the main things, main key points that you need to remember from the second stanza. Okay, so now we are finally at the third stanza, which is going to be the final stanza for today's lesson. So let's read it. From the earth's loosened mold, the sapling draws its sustenance and thrives. Though stricken to the heart with winter's cold, the drooping tree revives. Now let me break that down for you in a simple way. Now imagine this. It's springtime, and uh, the soil is finally starting to warm up and get softer with the help of the warm sun after being frozen all winter. That is what the phrase loosened mold actually means. It's talking about the soil getting all soft and nice. Now you have got those baby trees, what the poet has called as sapling over here. So when the soil is soft and nice, now the baby trees or the saplings can finally draws their nutrients, the good stuffs from the ground that would help them grow. That is what the this is what the meaning of this word sustenance means, nutrients. So you see, when the soil is all soft and nice, the saplings, the baby trees, are now able to suck all those good nutrients, all those good stuff from the grounds, and these all things are helping them to grow, to flourish. This is what the word thrives means, to flourish. So due to the warm sun, what are the things that are happening? First, due to the warm sun, the soil are getting soft and nice, and because the soil are getting soft, now the baby trees are able to suck all those good stuff from the ground, and help of those with the help of those nutrients, now they are able to growing they are able to grow, and they are becoming stronger. Okay, now in the next line, though stricken to the heart with winter's cold, the drooping tree revives. In the next line, the poet is talking about the remarkable aspect of the seasonal transition. You see, the trees, those big trees which appear dormant during the month of winter, are now showing the sign of renewed vitality. These trees, which seemed lifeless with their bare branches, are now beginning to revive. The phrase stricken to the heart with winter's cold poetically describes what the how deeply the winter affected the trees. It's as if the winter had penetrated to their very core. However, with the returning of the warmer weather, these same trees are now demonstrating their resilience by producing new growth. Okay, so it's all about how tough nature is. Winter is winter comes and winter knocks down everything, but as soon as spring rolls around, everything starts growing and reviving once again, no matter how tough the winter was. So this is all the third stanza is about. Now we will quickly go over the point summary of the third stanza. So what the third stanza is mainly about, it focuses on spring's new life and growth, and saplings thrive due to warm sun and loosened soil. Contrast, here we can see the contrast with freezing winter conditions and spring, and trees that drooped in winter revive in April. We already discussed this thing that the trees which appear dormant during the month of winter are now they are starting to revive. So this is all the third stanza is about. Alright, now let's wrap this whole things up in a simple down to earth way. So we have been diving into this poem about the month of April, where the poet is absolutely in love with the charming beauty that the month brings with it. He has stated multiple reasons that make him fall in love with the month. They are all about those sunny spots in the woods and how the sky is all pretty and blue without any grumpy, stormy clouds messing things up. But it is not all about looking nice. The poet is also showing us how tough the nature is. It's like the nature's got the never give up attitude. You see, winter comes in like a bully and tries to knock everything down, but then spring comes and it fights back. From the tiny saplings to the big old trees, everything starts bouncing back as soon as they get the chance. So, what we get to learn from these stanzas is that nature is a real fighter and spring is its comeback season. So, it's a reminder that no matter how rough the thing gets, there's always a chance for a fresh start. So, it's like the world is giving us a small pep talk every year when spring shows up. Right. This is where I'm ending this lesson. Hope you have enjoyed this poem. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.